And so there's been a lot of talk about, is LeBron leaving in the offseason? What is going to happen with LeBron? If his son Bronny gets drafted, many believe that LeBron James is going to go play with Bronny. LeBron has been very open and public about wanting to play with his sons. There was an entire commercial about him playing with both his kids. And LeBron definitely at some point, I do believe, will make that adventure, right? He will leave the Lakers and go play with Bronny and maybe even eventually Bryce. I don't believe it's this offseason. I just don't, right? He has another kid that's still going to school. He's supposed to go to USC. LeBron's going to want to do all the same things he's doing with Bronny now with his other kid. I just don't buy the narrative that LeBron is going to leave in the offseason. I said this last year when there was talks about, was he going to opt out? What is he going to do? LeBron is going to demand a new contract. He's going to stay with the Lakers, right? He didn't come to LA solely for basketball reasons. Yes, obviously he wanted to come. He wanted to win here. He got one ring. Obviously he does want to win more, but it's not something that he's like dying for, right? He's at this stage of his career where, he's thinking to some extent and building to some extent for post NBA basketball. Father, family man, his family wanted to be here. His kids wanted to go to school here. He's here for them. Look, if he wanted solely basketball reasons, there was several other teams at the time that LeBron came to the Lakers that he could have went to and just probably won 3 or 4 rings by now. But instead, he came to LA. He did get the one. There was even reports that hey, he doesn't have this fire to chase Kobe and Jordan as far as rings go. And I get that. Right? Again, it's not that he doesn't want to win. It's that nothing is going to change the narrative, right? LeBron can win the next 5 NBA titles straight. And people that believe Jordan is the greatest ever, guess what? They're still going to believe Jordan is the greatest ever because there's always going to be an argument. There's always going to be something that you could point at and go, oh, this is why. That's why the Jordan LeBron debate, it's a moot point. It's opinion based more than anything else, right? If you believe LeBron is the greatest player ever, then guess what? It doesn't matter what he does the rest of the way. All it would do is just solidify it more for you, but you already believe that. So I get LeBron, he cares about his legacy a lot. Don't get me wrong, but he knows hey, I've done enough to prove one way or the other. If you have your mind made up, then you have your mind made up regardless. So I just don't see LeBron leaving. Well, Brian Windhorst said about a week or so ago now, might have been closer to 2 weeks now, that, one, LeBron might leave, and then he followed that up with, LeBron's in negotiations for a contract even now. Everyone was like, why does he need to negotiate anything? Well, if he was going to sign a long-term deal, then he would need to renegotiate. He would need to start those discussions now. And now we got reports that have came out that LeBron James is looking for a $60 million max, and he wants to do a 3-year deal, which would carry him into 42 years old, right? Which means he's not leaving this offseason, right? Because he's probably going to get that. What it would likely be, probably get 2 more years. That would follow his son into, his other son, Bryce, into the NBA. And then he has that 3rd year. He can opt out if he wants to and then go. Again, so he can stay around for Bryce. Talked about this heavily. The rumors and the reports, again, everything's a rumor until it's finalized. But the reports that are coming out line up with exactly what I've been screaming for some time now. That LeBron is going to stick around and tell his son Bryce. Then I think he'll reevaluate and he'll see where he's at. So, thing is though, do the Lakers or should the Lakers give LeBron James basically $60 million a year every year? Because in all honesty, I believe that they should, right? And I believe wholeheartedly that they will. Of course, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions, so let me know down in the comments below. But look, the Lakers, start with the easy one. LeBron James is still playing like he's a top 10 to 15 player. Now, there are concerns of what does he look like in 40, 41, 42, because his contract would extend till he's 42 years old. What does he look like at that point? Even if he does start to decline, I still think he's going to be a top, at worst, probably top 25 player, top 20 player. Right now, he's still top 10 to 15 at worst. So he's definitely still worth the max money. Also, another thing, though, is it's just the Lakers brand. It's what the Lakers do, right? We all love Kobe. we all know what Kobe did for the Lakers and the franchise. The Lakers gave him a max contract in a time where, from a basketball sense and even to an extent of a business sense, didn't make any sense for them to give Kobe Bryant the final contract that he got, right? He wasn't the same guy. He's coming off the Achilles tear. He was no longer that he was still good. He still should have been paid a fair amount of money, but it hurt and kind of crippled the Lakers in many ways, giving that contract, because that money could have been relegated elsewhere. Kobe could have signed a smaller contract, and maybe you could have done something with Kobe and maybe another star or something like that. But it wasn't about that, right? The reason the Lakers did that is for the reason why LeBron went to the Lakers. It's not so much about the superstar now. It's about the next one that's going to come, because they are the Lakers, right? The Lakers showed the loyalty to Kobe Bryant and sent a message to the rest of the superstars in the league and said, hey, you come here, you win here, you are loyal to us. Guess what? We're going to return the favor, and we're going to be loyal to you. And we're going to take care of you, and we're going to do whatever it takes, even if it costs us a couple years, because the Lakers know that looks good for these superstars that may only have 3-4 years left. And they're like, man, if I go to the Lakers, they're going to take care of me. You get to be in a big market. I'm going to get all the brand deals. I'm going to get all that stuff. Guess what? That was one of the factors. The way that the Lakers treated Kobe was one of the factors for why LeBron came to the Lakers, because he knew, I don't know how many years I have left in this league, but guess what? The Lakers aren't going to try to nickel and dime me, and they're going to make sure that I am compensated the way that I believe I should be compensated as a max guy. So the Lakers are absolutely going to give LeBron James a max contract. Question is, what are the implications to that? Right? A lot of talks about a third star. Lakers want to get a Donovan Mitchell, a Trae Young, maybe a Kyrie Irving. There's going to be tons of names that are out there that are going to be circulating in the offseason for a potential LeBron James, Anthony Davis, plus insert third star, superstar lineup, right? Because the Lakers do need to start looking post-LeBron at some point. Even if the Lakers do get LeBron and sign him to a 3-year deal long-term, you still know LeBron's going to start showing decline. Even if it's not like a massive drop-off, at some point he's going to be at least, like I said, a top 25 player. Can you win with Anthony Davis and top 25 player? I don't know. I mean, Lakers have LeBron James and Anthony Davis who are playing like 2 top 10, top 15 players, and they're not winning. So they may need that other star. Plus, you got to think post Anthony Davis, right? Or post LeBron James with Anthony Davis, right? And to go get a guy like a Trae Young, a Donovan Mitchell, something like that. Now, as far as acquiring that star, LeBron James' contract won't implicate that at all, because the Lakers are going to have to make a trade in order to do that. And you can structure it. There's all kinds, with the new CBA and all that stuff, they would make the trade first. They would do everything. Like, there will be a scale and pecking order, which we'll talk about once we get to the offseason and things are starting to play out and we kind of see what guys are available. I'll make a video going kind of in depth to explain it for all the people that are interested and curious about that, because I'm sure there's a lot of questions. But getting the other star won't make a difference. It's the other depth and the other pieces. How does that look? How are you able to round out a roster? Let's say it is Trae Young, right? Let's use Trae as an example. Let's say you do get Trae, LeBron, and AD. Okay, well, what are the other pieces, right? Ideally, you keep Jared Vanderbilt, keep a Max Christie. Maybe that's your starting 5. Maybe it's Trae, Max, Vando, LeBron, and AD. I don't think that's terrible, especially if Max Christie continues to take strides, continues to improve. Because any superstar you get, you're probably trading Austin Reeves in that deal. That's why I didn't mention Austin Reeves. Also, if you got a guy like Trae, can you really run Austin Reeves alongside Trae? You'd probably be the worst defensive backcourt in the league at that point. So regardless, you're probably going to need somebody. Maybe it's a Cam Reddish, right? Because with Trae, LeBron, and AD, you'd have enough offensive firepower to where you could probably get away with a Cam Reddish and a Jared Vanderbilt. But probably the idea would be Max Christie continues to take strides. Maybe he moves into that starting unit. But then what does your bench depth look like, right? You're going to need another big man. You're going to need other perimeter guys, right? Maybe some of these guys do opt in, right? Maybe a Cam Reddish opts in, a Jackson Hayes, a Taurean Prince, right? Maybe you're able to retain some of these guys. Depending on how the Lakers structure things, they may be able to have certain exceptions. We'll see. But that's where the real question mark becomes. But we'll see how the Lakers structure everything. But LeBron making $60 million a year, or towards the back end of it, $60 million a year, there's definitely going to have some implications long term, right? But if you have your roster and it is a real championship level roster locked up, it's not really as concerning. The problem is that the Lakers aren't very good. Then you're kind of stuck, right? So the Lakers would have to get it right. Lakers would have to make sure, like, whatever their starting five is, that's their starting five. That's going to be contenders for at least the next 3 years until LeBron ends up leaving or whatever. That's the idea. That's the goal. But personally, I think, again, you got to keep LeBron. You got to stick with LeBron, right? Because, again, it's not only just about LeBron James right now. Even if he does have some drastic decline, which would suck. I don't believe LeBron will. I'm not saying he won't start to decline at some point, but I just don't see him going from he walks into 25 points a game, and a lot of it is just his IQ and picking and choosing, and he's became a better shooter. If he can continue to improve on his shooting, he'll be at least a 20-point a game. He could probably play till 50 and get you 20 points, right? So not worried about that. It's all the other things that come along with it, right? The loss of athleticism. How is he going to be as a defender? How does he finish around the rim? How is his lift? Right? There's still questions. But regardless, you got to pay him. Because, again, it's not about just LeBron James. It's about that next guy. It's about that next star, right? Because eventually Anthony Davis is even going to leave. So, let's say you have Trey, right? And you're right in 3 years. Because also LeBron James and Anthony Davis would only have one more year on his contract if LeBron lasted all 3 years, right? So now it's like, okay, well, LeBron leaves. We got one more year with AD. Let's start looking for that AD replacement. Or if we are still keeping AD, let's look for that third guy to come in, especially if you've won some championships and that's a proven model, right? It would look good to have a guy like a LeBron James who just sailed off into the sunset. You paid the money to, and now you're supplementing that with the next, sort of not aging star, but older star, right? Because they're going to want to come because they know, okay, as I get into my later years, guess what? The Lakers are going to take care of me. Same thing as LeBron, same thing as the next guy. It's just what the Lakers brand is. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Think they should give LeBron the max? Do you think they shouldn't? Again, whatever it is, love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.